I'm Catherine Austin, and welcome to Living Karma Yoga. It's a show where we celebrate all that the yoga world has to offer, from the postures to music, mantra, meditation, travel, cooking, and so much more. Yoga for 1 hour just isn't enough in today's busy world, so we help you take your yoga off the mat and into your life. I hope you'll find here many tools to help you live the life you deserve, and that's a life where you can literally vibrate love, joy, fulfillment, and abundance in all forms. So today we're going to have a beautiful class. It's our foundational class at Karma called Karma Yoga. I'd love you to join us. You don't even need a yoga mat. Just get on the floor, get comfortable, take your socks and your shoes off, and why don't you try some of the postures along with us today. So ladies, let's begin as you are, seated. And go ahead and just close your eyes. You know, in Karma Yoga, we like to take a journey more inward because most of the day our eyes are always open, right? So we give ourselves this more quiet, silent space to shift into. We're going to just start here with our hands on our knees and bring our attention more to our breath. And in yoga, we're going to breathe just through the nose only. On our inhale, we'll fill up completely towards the top of the lungs, top of the rib cage. And when you exhale, empty completely, and maybe towards that navel drawing into the spine. Good. And you'll notice just from the deep breathing that it will calm the nervous system quite quickly and shift us from this state of anxiousness where most people operate from into a state of a little more feeling good and slow and calmer. Let the spine be really tall and even lift the shoulders a little bit to come onto the back. So the heart is starting to open up a little more. Our main energy channel from our root to the crown of the head is now a little more open, so more energy or the breath or prana can flow through the body. And this is really the key of yoga, is to have more energy, more light flowing through our body, and that's how we feel better. We're going to use various postures, or I like to call technologies, to just help open up more energy flow. Good, good. So just keeping the hands on the knees, we're going to do what's called a Sufi grind. So we're going to circularly move our pelvis clockwise. And we'll do this for just a little bit, and this is going to start to unlock or open the energy at the base of the spine. And you can see it's going to be really good for your digestion as well because it's moving and massaging this area of the body. I like to think of it as unwinding my day or unwinding anything that needs to be unwound. Good. You'll often hear me go into some moments of silence because I would love the students to just be in silence themselves. Have an experience of what they're doing, what they're feeling. Good. Let's deepen the breath a little bit more. I often call the breath your connection to something larger. It's your Wi-Fi. How's your connection? We're always so worried about our telephone or our laptop connection, but we forget about our own connection. Good. Now, after the next rotation, let's go counterclockwise. Moving clockwise empties the ascending colon, and then counterclockwise empties and massages the descending colon. So that's another great extra benefit. You can go as slow as you want or as fast as you want. Good. Now remember, in any yoga pose, if something doesn't feel quite right for you, you're the best yoga teacher. Adjust accordingly. Maybe you slow down. Maybe you even take a break and just breathe. Good. A few more rotations counterclockwise. We're just warming up a little bit. Good. Now come to center. Let's just take an inhale and hold the breath. We're literally pressurizing the system to hold more energy by holding the breath. And then exhale. Good. And just sit for a moment in the silence, enjoy the eyes closed. I already feel a shift in the energy of the room. It's great. Now let's move the spine forward and back by sliding the hands down to your shins. Gives you something to hold on to. Inhale, draw the heart forward. Exhale, round the spine back. This is called the spinal flex. You can see it's flexing the spine at the heart, at the low back. The head's going to stay level. They're doing a beautiful job of just keeping the chin parallel to the earth. Good. And notice the beautiful serenity on their faces. Calm, just enjoying breathing and moving. How often do we get to do that? Good. Just keep continuing. You're unlocking energy that kind of gets stagnant and stuck at this part of the body. That's why we have a lot of low back pain, hip pain in society. We're a lot of holding down here. Digestion issues. So we're unlocking the energy flow. Good. Let's take a few more rounds, rocking, unlocking, breathing deeper. Now come to stillness. Take a deep inhale, ladies. Hold the breath. And exhale, release. Good. And just sit for a moment. I like to think of each posture as you're getting new software installed. So we want to let it take its time to install and update our nervous system and our brain. On the next inhale, still in this nice easy pose, circle your arms up over your head. And spread your fingers and really reach up to as bright as you could be, even bigger beyond this physical body. See how much space you're going to get now in your waistline. You maybe can even breathe easier. Go ahead, check your breath a little deeper through the nose. Now, keeping this elevated feeling, you're going to twist to your right, bringing your left hand to your right knee. Your right fingertips behind you onto the mat in this gentle twist. You're looking over the direction of your right shoulder. And still in the posture, but not stiff and rigid. So every inhale you might get a little taller. Maybe on the exhale you can twist a little more. Maybe you're fine right where you are. Go ahead. Let's be here for a few breaths. Focus on every inhale coming up to your collarbones. Good, I can really see your bodies just undulating with this energy. Let's prepare to change sides. Inhale, come up through center, reach again. Really get bright, super bright fingers, lots of energy to your fingertips. And then exhale, twist to the left. So now it's your right hand on your left knee. And take your left fingertips way back behind you, even maybe over towards your right hip. Good. And you're just kind of noticing in your postures from side to side, where do I hold my tension? How different am I from side to side? Everything from my neck down to my hips. You could even feel a knee here if you're having a little extra tension. But trust me, the more you practice, the stress is released. This is a practice of clearing and purifying. Notice how in every inhale you're getting a little taller, maybe softening a little more on the exhale. Inhale, turn back to center, sweep the arms up one more time, see if you can get a little more space even. Good. And exhale, gently bring the arms down. And just roll over your feet and your ankles, and let's come onto our hands and knees into table pose. Spread your knees as wide apart of your hips, and maybe the hands a little forward of the shoulders, and really spreading the fingers so you root all the big knuckles down. This will keep less weight on your wrist if you have some wrist intensive issues. Unlock your elbows so that the arm muscles are going to fire a little bit more for you and support you. And then we're going to call what is softening the heart here by just melting your shoulder blades a little more into your back. It was so clear, so beautiful. And to balance that open heart, just lift or tone up the navel center a little bit. Excellent. If at any time your knees were sensitive, some people are like, I can't do yoga, I can't be on my knees. We could put blankets under your knees. We could double your mat up. There's many ways to cushion the knees here. Even this simple pose can be a workout. You're strengthening your arms here. Absolutely, especially if you're here for a longer period of time. This is a good option, but let's also experience what we call downward facing dog, a very familiar yoga pose. We'll curl the toes under behind us, take an inhale first, and then lift the hips up and back. And look, you just look like an upside down triangle, so you're going to really get some nice space here in your body. And notice it has nothing to do with getting your heels down to the mat. In fact, let's bend our knees a lot so that we can stretch our sit bones further back and get a longer spine. And then at any time you want to straighten the legs a little bit more, go for it, without locking the knees, because we want to keep the energy flowing through your body. Notice how we're being playful here. They're walking their dog, they're bending one knee and then the other. These are some seasoned students that definitely know their bodies and want to play in them right away. And the more you come, the more you just learn. We're building strength here, we're building length, and we're absolutely building a strong mind and courage. Let's be here for a few more breaths. But at any time you notice you're not breathing, just come back down to the knees where we were earlier. Good, let's take one more inhale, and then exhale, gently come down to your knees, and let's step our right foot forward between our hands. And you may have to grab your ankle even here to just help yourself a little bit more, bring this foot forward. Or you could use a pair of blocks under your hands to help bring the floor up a little bit. Reggie's going to show that. We have such great supports that anybody can do yoga. Good. So still check the breath here wherever we go, whatever we do. Nice. So this is a great posture where you're definitely opening your right hip. But if you want to take it up a little bit and challenge, curl the left toes under, inhaling, and then lift the hips up nice and high. Left knee comes off the mat. Good. Now let's stretch the heart forward a little more. Lift the heart, lift the head, and you can see how we've opened up greater energy flow in the body. Nice. Let's take a few breaths here. You might even try to kind of like hug the energy a little more between your legs and see if you could possibly take your hands off the mat for a moment, just for a moment. Notice how you're going to use your core more, use the navel muscle, and then place them back down. Nice. Or don't even take the hands up. There's so many great options in every pose. Good. Gently exhale the left knee back down to the mat. And let's just walk our right foot a little more over to the right to give us a little more space and bring both arms inside your right leg. Good. Now we're going to just bend the elbows back towards your thigh of the left leg a little bit, towards the back of your mat, and bow in. Let your head bow in and feel this subtle hip opener. It may be a lot of feeling. Go to a place where it's not too much or too little, and let your head relax, let it go. Maybe open your jaw. Let's be here for a few breaths to open up our right hip. Oh, give yourself permission to close your eyes here. There is no goal in any yoga posture to get too far in or not enough. It's what do you need today to release stress and feel good in your life. That's what it's all about. Good. Inhale, come back up. Let's step the right knee back to the left. Maybe move the blocks out of the way for a moment. And let's neutralize everything in that down dog again. So take yourselves into down dog, lifting the hips up and back. Good. And let's just be here for a few breaths. This is a great neutralizer for the spine. Good. Everybody, one more inhale. Maybe stretch back a little further. And exhale, gently come back down to your knees. And we'll step the left foot forward between the hands. And again, realign your supports. You could have blocks, but you could have a couple books at home just to help you get up off the floor a little bit. Good. Take a few moments here. You're just kind of observing. Already, does my left side feel different than my right side did? With no judgments. No criticisms. Curl the right toes under, inhale, and lift the right knee up high off the mat and come into this nice runner's lunge here. Head lifted, heart lifted. And know at any time this may feel too much for you, put your right knee down. It's no problem. Good. Let's take the hips up higher, back thigh higher. Anything we can do to open up the energy channels. Draw the left hip back a little bit more. The right hip widens. Nice. That's beautiful. Maybe try taking the fingers off the mat again or the blocks. You could support them on your thigh. Make sure you're really hugging the energy in. Beautiful. It's going to feel a little unsteady, unstable. This is good. This means you're tuning up the nervous system and working on your balance. And then let's bring the hands back down once again, gently lowering your right knee back down to the mat. And we'll widen now the left foot over to the left side so we can bring both arms inside the left leg. Good. Let's take a deep breath. Then melting the elbows back a little bit. And you don't have to come very far. You're going to feel plenty, even being upright with arms straight. Let your head go. Let your jaw open. You know, so many people ask me, oh, I'm just not flexible enough. I can't come to yoga. Well, if we waited till we were flexible, that would never happen. So we just come and we start where we are. And trust me, there's so much to open, even with the most limited body. We're going to feel so much better when we leave. Good. Deepen your breath, a few more rounds here. If you can't even get to the floor, we can do yoga in a chair. We can do yoga on a couch. We can do yoga laying in bed. Good. Inhale, coming back up. Good. Step the left knee back to the right. And we'll come into a beautiful pose called child's pose, where the knees go wide apart, the big toes come together, and we're just going to rest the sit bones back, wherever they fall for you. Good. Let your forehead rest on the floor, maybe a purple block, palms together. In an offering. You know, here's a great place to send some of those wishes, those desires, maybe even those prayers out to the universe. When you're more focused, you're more calm. Go ahead, deepen your breath here. Let's just take a little rest. Good. Inhale, come back up to hands and knees into table pose. We're going to take a short transition through that downward facing dog again so we can make our way up to standing for a couple postures. So curl the toes under, lift your hips up and back, and then walk up towards your hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Step your feet as wide apart as you need to. Good. Bending the knees, support your hands on your thighs, and take your time, slowly rolling up to standing. Good. And let's just stand for a moment. Arms by our sides, super bright, super radiant, eyes closed, and just notice within yourself the yoga. The yoga means the union, your finite self with your more higher self, where you feel that connection, that more oneness. The mind isn't so crazy. We're not so worried. We've come back to a calmer state within. And that's the yoga. The postures get us to the yoga. They release the stress so we can feel that. Good. With the eyes open, let's inhale the arms up over the head. Good. We're going to take our left wrist to the back of the right hand. We'll press the palm up to the sky, and we're going to take a side bend to the left. So now we're opening the entire side waist of the body, but not forgetting about what's going on below. So we're keeping the feet really strong and rooted into the earth. The knees unlocked a little bit so we can fire up the muscles, tone up the navel center. Good. And either look up if your neck feels good today or look down. You can adjust your practice every day to how you feel. Good. Let's change sides. Inhale, come up, switch your hands. And a side arc. An arc to the right. Not a collapse, but an arc. Good. Maybe root down your left foot a little bit more into the earth. Feel more stretch. So great. How lucky are we to have this 28 minutes to breathe and move a little bit. Good. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, sweep the arms down by your sides. Good. Watching your partner. Good. Fold forward to the earth once again. Step back to downward facing dog. And we're going to lower down to our knees. Good. Walk your knees both off to the right hand side and just roll over to lying on your back and find your strap. You can face any direction you want. It's all good. Good. So we're going to use the strap around the right foot. Let's take the right leg up to the sky and bring the strap over the top of the right foot. This is a great prop that we can often use in the yoga class. This gives you some length in your hamstring that you might not normally have. And the left leg is out straight. And let's draw the toes back in the left foot. Walk your hands up the strap and pull down on the strap a little bit more. Give you some length. And it feels like you're inserting this right leg into your hip socket a little more. So we're not necessarily bringing the leg towards us. We're just creating some pressure to lengthen and strengthen the hamstring here. Good. Now deepen the breath again, and the eyes can be closed. Good. Put the strap completely in your right hand now, your left hand to your hip bone. And then let your right leg just fall out to the side a little bit for a stretch. If you fall off your left sit bone, then you're going too far, so just come in a little bit there. Good. Even press your foot into the strap. Feel like you're going to break it. Get a little extra stretch. Nice. Inhale the leg up, and let's switch legs. So we'll take the strap off gently and change to the other side. So the left leg's going to go straight up. So when you come to Karma Yoga and take one of our classes, it's about an hour long, we'll spend a little more time in the postures than we can at this limited time. Pulling down on that strap once again, and just notice if there's any difference between your left leg, how is the right leg, where do I hold my tension? And the more we learn about that, the more we can let go of it. Good. Couple more presses of the foot up into the strap. Nice. That was great, Samantha. Bring all the strap into your left hand, right hand to your hip, And again, let's let the left leg fall to where it's naturally going to feel a first stretch. Great. No comparison to your neighbor next to you. It doesn't matter. Everybody enters yoga at a different place, a different history. Beautiful. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Release the strap. Good. And then just stretch the left leg out onto the earth. Take a few moments here laying on the mat with the eyes closed and just see if you feel a little lighter in your, or longer even in your legs. Having straps and blocks are so helpful in our yoga poses. Go ahead, let's bend both knees now and plant the feet on the mat about hip distance apart. Walk your shoulders up a little more towards your ears so you get nice and long on the side waist. That was really clear. You're going to lift your hips towards the sky, and you'll bring your arms underneath you for a little gentle back bend called bridge pose, interlacing your fingers together to give you some strength. Notice how Reggie's using a block to rest her sacrum on. It's a great prop. Samantha has her fingers interlaced so that she gets a little more strength in the shoulders to tuck them under. Notice how neither one of them are pushing their hips up, but they're taking them to a natural place where it feels good in the back bend. Hug your legs a little more towards each other to track the knees straight ahead. And feel your back bend here mostly in your heart. So you're curling the heart up more and more towards the chin. Good. Release the hands, release the block. And as you let your sit bones lower down, let your knees open wide and the soles of the feet just rest together. And let's bring one hand on our heart and one hand on our navel. And just rest here for a little bit. The eyes are closed. So much easier to rest when you release stress. You'll sleep better, you'll digest better, your relationships get better, your creativity gets better, you have more clarity. So many benefits from practicing yoga, way beyond what you're doing on your mat. Your health gets better as you're more aware of how you feel. Extend the legs out, flop them apart, arms by your sides, flop them out. Taking some more rest here. And as these beautiful yoginis take their rest, please join us at our Karma classes for all levels. For more information, www.karma-yoga.net. Namaste.
May the